Today, in London's Westminster, an extraordinary political crisis is unfolding that's captivated not just the UK, but the entire world. What began as the release of previously sealed documents linked to the late American financier Jeffrey Epstein has exploded into a heated parliamentary confrontation, raising questions about political judgment, national security, vetting processes, and even alleged misconduct in public office. Members of Parliament from multiple parties have been clashing openly, at times shouting, in the Commons chamber, demanding answers from the government about why a controversial figure with documented links to Epstein was appointed to one of Britain's most sensitive diplomatic roles, and why critical documents were initially withheld from parliamentary scrutiny. Before we go deeper into the scandal's roots, take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in breaking political investigations, scandals that stretch across countries, and clear explanations of events that shape global affairs. Hit the subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss reports like this one, because what's happening in Westminster today may change the face of British politics for years to come. The stakes couldn't be higher. We're talking about allegations involving leaked confidential information, the overturning of long-held norms about diplomatic appointments, and intense pressure on the Prime Minister himself. At the heart of the storm is Lord Peter Mandelson, a veteran Labour politician who once served as a senior cabinet minister and, more recently, was appointed by Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer as the United Kingdom's ambassador to the United States. Newly released material from the Epstein files, a tranche of documents made public by the U.S. Department of Justice, appears to show that Mandelson had a long-standing personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, even after Epstein's 2008 conviction for soliciting minors for prostitution. According to these documents, emails and financial records suggest Epstein provided payments to accounts linked to Mandelson and his partner, and that Mandelson corresponded with Epstein about government policy matters during his time as business secretary. These revelations set off alarm bells because they raise two urgent questions. Did Mandelson share market-sensitive or confidential UK government information with Epstein, and was the vetting process for his appointment to the ambassadorial position thorough and transparent? The Metropolitan Police now says it has launched a criminal investigation into whether Mandelson's conduct amounts to misconduct in public office, a serious offense that carries a maximum sentence of life imprisonment under British law. Police commanders have said the documents met the threshold to justify a full inquiry, meaning detectives are reviewing evidence and interviewing witnesses as part of the probe. Parliament has become the arena for a raw and unprecedented public airing of deep political tensions. On one side, Conservative MPs and other opposition figures have accused the Prime Minister and his inner team of poor judgment and potential cover-ups. They demanded transparency, pointing to specific parliamentary questions in which Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch pressed Sir Keir Starmer on what the security vetting had actually disclosed about Mandelson's ties to Epstein at the time of his ambassadorial appointment. In response, Starmer admitted that he had known about Mandelson's ongoing friendship with Epstein, but claimed that Mandelson lied repeatedly about the extent of that relationship during the vetting process, a statement that only deepened the controversy. Within the government's own ranks, there has been rising anger among Labour MPs. Some backbenchers, led by senior figures such as Angela Rayner, forced a rare climb down by the Prime Minister over his handling of sensitive documents. Originally, Starmer had proposed that a senior civil servant would decide which files could be released to Parliament, potentially limiting disclosure on grounds of national security or international relations. Under intense pressure, he agreed that an independent parliamentary body, the Intelligence and Security Committee, would make those decisions instead, although the Metropolitan Police has asked for a pause in releasing certain files to avoid prejudicing the ongoing investigation. Meanwhile, the fallout has been swift and severe for Mandelson himself. Facing mounting criticism from all sides, he announced his resignation from the House of Lords, effectively ending his career in parliamentary politics. Downing Street has said it is drafting legislation to strip him of his noble title, and the government has moved to remove him from the Privy Council, actions that underscore the profound institutional shock this scandal has triggered. Critics now question not only Mandelson's conduct, but the entire process by which influential political figures are vetted for critical national roles. Beyond Westminster, this crisis raises deeper issues about political accountability and transparency in a democratic system. If a highly experienced and well-connected politician like Mandelson could rise to such prominence despite extensive public records of his relationship with a convicted sex offender. What does that say about safeguards in government? Public trust in political institutions in the UK has already been shaken by previous controversies, and now voters are being forced to confront the possibility that political elites may operate above the kinds of scrutiny ordinary citizens face. Analysts and commentators are asking whether reforms are needed, not just in vetting procedures, but in how legislative oversight functions in the public interest. Some critics have drawn parallels between this episode and other high-profile scandals involving political figures and controversial relationships. Although the specific facts here are rooted in the UK context, the global implications, especially given the involvement of files originating from a US Department of Justice release, mean that this story is being watched closely in capitals around the world. With police investigations ongoing and Parliament demanding more answers, the full scope of this scandal is still unfolding. Lawmakers, legal experts, and citizens alike are confronting difficult questions about trust, responsibility, and the rule of law in modern democracies. In closing, this is far more than a headline or a fleeting political argument. It is a crisis rocking the heart of British democracy, involving allegations of shared confidential information, questions about how power and influence are exercised at the highest levels, and intense clashes in Parliament over transparency and accountability. As investigations proceed and more documents come into the public domain, the world will be watching, not just to see whether individuals like Mandelson face legal consequences, but whether this episode prompts deeper changes in how governments guard against corruption and protect public trust. If you found this explanation valuable and want clear, factual breakdowns of major political developments like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Stay informed, because events like this are shaping history in real time.